Britain is set to become the first European Union member to leave the bloc following a referendum last year in which a majority voted for Brexit. The precise timings and the terms for the departure are all uncertain as negotiations have yet to begin, but here is an outline of what we know so far. On June 23, 2016, Britons voted by 52% in favour to 48% against leaving the EU, although most voters in Scotland, Northern Ireland, and London backed remaining part of the bloc. Britain has had a love-hate relationship with Brussels since joining in 1973. Prime Minister David Cameron, who took office in 2010, called the referendum in a bid to end long-standing divisions in his Conservative Party. May has said she wants to trigger Article 50, the formal procedure for leaving the European Union under the EU's Lisbon Treaty, by the end of March. Finance Minister Philip Hammond has said he then expects negotiations to begin before the summer. Article 50 foresees a maximum 2-year time period for the negotiations. If no deal is in place by then, Britain would have to leave without any agreement on future ties with the EU, unless the time frame can be extended by unanimous agreement of all member states. The EU's top Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier has said there should be an agreement in place ahead of the 2019 European Parliament elections. Britain's Supreme Court is set to rule later this month on whether or not May must receive parliamentary approval before triggering Article 50. If the court rules against May, the government may be forced to bring draft legislation before Parliament, which could in turn delay the start of negotiations. Even though most MPs supported Britain staying in the EU, it is seen as highly unlikely that Parliament would deny May the right to begin Brexit negotiations. Following demands from business for stability during Brexit, the British government has signalled there could be a time lag between leaving the European Union and shifting to new relations with the EU. May said there could be a period of implementation to ensure there is no cliff-face departure. May has said she will make cutting immigration a priority in negotiations, following a referendum in which it was a key argument of the Brexit camp. Hundreds of thousands of people, mainly from Eastern and Southern Europe, move to Britain each year. May also wants maximum possible access to EU markets for British businesses, even though EU leaders have repeatedly said that access to the single market would only be allowed if Britain granted the free movement of people. A hard line could put both sides on a collision course, and Hammond hinted that Britain may be forced to change our economic model, for example by cutting corporate taxes in order to remain competitive if it is shut out of the single market. Britain will have to negotiate new trade deals with countries around the world once it has left the EU. US President-elect Donald Trump said in an interview with The Times and Bild published in full on Monday that this could happen quickly, but experts say such agreements often take several years to negotiate. Don't forget to subscribe and keep watching Global Analysis.